And Jen is saying open source TF2 or TF2 ported to source 2. How about open source TF2 on source 2? I think that would be even better. There are some people trying to recreate TF2 on source 2. On these fellas are having a good time. There are some people trying to recreate. There's a mini sentry somewhere to recreate TF2 on source 2. I think on the source 2 version of Gary's mod, that's something like S and Box. I think it is something like that. The name of the game that they are building there. And you know, I'm very interested for that. I think it would be a nice project to check it out. You know, imagine if we can host community servers for TF2 on source 2. It would be nice. It would be very amazing to be able to do that. I know I would try to get 1 or 2 servers running. You can count on me for that. Game Bros is asking, what's my opinion on Attack Engines? Do you like to play as it? I don't really play Engineer that much, Gaming Bros. But you know, I think Attack Engine is fine. The only thing I don't like about Attack Engine is when they use the Widowmaker with a... Hey, Curly Pat is here. Is when they use the Widowmaker with a Pocket Medic. You know, especially when the Medic is rocking Quick Sprig. I think the Widowmaker should be nerfed as the Calm Angler is, you know, to not accept critical Ubers. I think that would be a necessary nerf. But other than that, Attack Engine is fine. It's just that I don't really play as Engineer. And Dev is saying, I liked your video about Valve and TF2 and I think it's really accurate. And I haven't seen many videos describe it as well as you did. Thank you very much, Dev. Thank you so much. I think what happens is, usually most creators are sort of, you know, afraid of backlash for calling out Valve for what it is, you know. Valve is a huge corporation that goes after whatever they find interesting. There's still, for whatever reason, this idea that we have to be, you know, loyal fans to Valve or something like that. And I'm a fan of Valve in a lot of different aspects. But I don't really like how they treat TF2, and I think we have to call it out, you know. But I believe most YouTubers don't want to deal with that because they're afraid of backlash or stuff like that, you know, from angry fanboys on the internet. But, well, in my experience, angry fanboys will appear whatever you say, you know, whatever you say, there will be people angry about what you're saying on your videos. So as much as you have to be respectful and everything like that, you shouldn't be afraid to say what you think about large corporations, you know. So I think that's why there aren't many people calling out Valve as a giant corporation like that. Another creator I've seen do that a lot is Jim Sterling. I don't know if you're familiar with the work Jim Sterling makes here on YouTube, but it's very informative, and his channel has made a lot of good points about Valve in the past. But other than that, I don't really see many videos like that on that topic. So I thought it was necessary to make one, you know. So yeah. Let's see what else are you saying here. Ingenu is saying, I made Uncle Leo say angry fanboys. No, I meant to say, Uncle Leo, fanboys, you know, F-A-N boys. That's what I meant to say, Uncle Leo. My English is not the best, fellas, please forgive my pronunciation. But yeah, I meant to say fan. Boys, F-A-N, like in the Force of Nature, you know, the fan of war, like that. Uncle Leo always so funny. And Geno is saying, I made it. I had a question for you, old school. Do you think it would be a good idea if Valve made TF2 open source and have people contribute code to the game? That's exactly what I think should be done, you know, for TF2. I think TF2 is past the point where it should be kept as a closed source product, you know. I think TF2 is already a legacy game, and it would be great for it if Valve would release it under the public domain. And I think that's Jillian. Let's see if I can airblast. It is hard to play Pyro with 100 ping, you know. I always feel like my air blasts are off by a couple seconds. Yeah, it is Jillian. It is my friend Jillian. Nice to have you playing with us, my friend. But yeah, I think it would be good for TF2 to be open sourced and released under public domain. Because, you know, people often say that, oh, it would be easier to cheat on the game like that. And that's not wrong, but it would also be easier to fix the game's problems, you know, to sort of try and fight back against that. But I think the main benefit of open sourcing TF2 isn't even that we would be able to fight against cheaters or whatever, you know. I think the main benefit is we would be able to fork the game, you know, like to grab the source code and develop new products from it. So if any indie studio or any community group wants to develop, for example, their own version of TF2, they would be able to do that. And in my opinion, that's very important for the game's survival in the long term, you know. If TF2 stays in Valve's hands exclusively, eventually the game will get shut down. You know, I think that's something that's inevitable. For it to last forever, it has to become free in terms of freedom, not in free-to-play, and open source, you know. But that's my opinion. You can disagree if you want. That's just what I think. So yeah. And Uncle Liu is saying, by the way, last time we talked about anime. I have never ever been into anime because I considered weebs weird. But lately I absolutely fall in love with Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, Ghost in the Shell is amazing. I've only watched a couple of episodes and it is a great anime, you know, very good. Excellent. I'm glad you're enjoying anime, Uncle Liu. Anime is great. Don't let the weird fellas, you know, distract you from that. Anime is great. Go watch anime. It is a lot of fun. And Gino is saying that open source is not the same as less secure. Yes, exactly. And open source is the code getting unspaghettied or unspaghettified. Yes. I also think about that a lot, you know, Gino. Because, you know, imagine, for example, if TF2 were open source already, we would have the master config and the Team Counter-2 project already implemented into the game. We could have a lot, you know, we could have a bot detector implemented straight into the game, you know, for example, Pazer developed one, and it could have been merged into TF2 already and improved, because I know that Pazer's bot detector isn't perfect, but if TF2 were open source, I imagine that it could be made a lot better, you know. So it would really benefit an old game like TF2. I think most people who are afraid of this idea of TF2 becoming open source do so mostly because they don't really understand what is an open source project and how it works. You know, I think that really is one of the main things that scare people away from open source. But yeah, a lot of great things are open source, you know. Most server tools to host servers are free and open source, and it makes them more secure. Because, you know, everyone can take a look at the code and improve it, fix it, and stuff like that. So I'm all for it. Those who have been watching me for a while know I'm really a fan of Linux and open source software. I think it's the future. So yeah, the point is ours, so we can push them. I'll check chat in just a sec, fellas. Just let me position myself here and see what I can do. Where is the enemy team? Where is the red team? Where did they go? There, there's a heavy there. Okay. He fell down, nice. Come on, Jillian. Okay, got him once. But yeah, the extinguisher is not what it used to be. It is still pretty good, but I have to remember that just one swing isn't enough anymore. So yeah, what else are you saying? Dev is saying, if people want TF2 open source for mod, we already have the resources for mods, as always, as Valve always gave us those resources. Yeah, but you know, it's kind of like from leaks and stuff like that, you know, Dev. What we have for mods, you know, access to the source engine, to the docs for the source engine, and there's even some code leaked from TF2 is good and everything, but a lot more could be done if the actual game were to be open source, you know. It would really improve the amount of good products we have coming out of TF2, you know. I think about, for example, the Open Fortress project. I think they are trying to remake TF2 codes from scratch to release, you know, a truly open source version of TF2. And you know, it's good and all, but Valve could simply... Jillian's paying attention. Yeah, he saw me. If Valve could simply just open source the code and release it for us, it will do wonders. I always manage to hit him, but I can't kill him. I have to rethink my strategy here. And Crop is saying, Team Fortress 2 was originally a mod, and it would be great if that essence could be carried forward from this game in future generations. Yes, completely agree with that, Cropping. Curly Patty is so silly here. I really would enjoy, you know, if TF2 became sort of a platform. If it wasn't just a game, but if it became a platform for people to build other games upon it, you know. It sort of is like that, especially when you consider there are a lot of community game modes. But again, it could be a lot more like that. Ah, come on, how wasn't that a crit? It could be a lot more like that. And thank you for the heals, Edison. Thank you so much. I don't respect friendlies, I'm sorry, friends. Like, nothing against friendlies, but I want to play TF2. That's what I want to do here. People are laughing at Valve here. Ah, now I get what Uncle Lee was saying on chat. People are laughing at Valve, yes. Well, let's burn Valve here, yeah. That's what Valve deserves. I'm just joking, okay? There's a bit of truth in every joke, but I'm just joking. But yeah, I wish TF2 would become this platform, you know, for others to build upon. It would be neat. Ah, managed to do what I wanted since the start of stream. Nice. I'm sorry for the taunt, Firefly, but I really think it was... I think it was adequate. Finally, I managed to air blast an arrow.